Hey there and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making one of a family favorites of ours. It is a smoked salmon pasta. It is so delicious and perfect for summer and spring. To get started, I'm going to be removing the corn from the cob. We're going to actually be adding this into the sauce, but a little bit later. Since there's very little prep to this recipe, the only thing we really need to do is get the pot of water for the pasta on the stove and boiling, and then we're going to start our sauce. I use 2 tablespoons of butter, and then we're going to slowly whisk in some flour. This is going to make a roux or the base to our pasta sauce. Once you have the butter and flour well combined, we definitely don't want it to overcook, but definitely get it on a nice medium heat. We're going to add in some garlic, and then we're going to add in the chicken stock, lemon, and I like to add nutmeg to this. We're going to mix all that up and thicken it up. Once you have everything thickened up, we're going to be adding in 1/3 cup of heavy whipping cream or half and half and mix that together. Once your sauce has had a minute to come together, we're going to actually get this on a little simmer and we're going to add in the corn. I also like to do it this way specifically because I like the corn to be al dente. It gives this dish a little bit of a crunch, and I also love the sweetness. Once you have all of that mixed up, we'll get the salmon in and get this dish on the table. While your sauce is on a simmer, go ahead and prep the fresh basil, and we're going to actually chop up all of that smoked salmon. I picked all of this up at Trader Joe's, but you guys can pretty much pick it up at any store, but I like to chop it all up. Then we're going to add in some Parmesan cheese to our sauce, really give that a nice healthy mix, and I'm going to add in a little bit more of the heavy whipping cream. Oftentimes your sauce will get a little bit thicker as it sits on a simmer, so that's why you want to add a little bit of that extra cream if you need it. If you don't, you can totally omit that part. So now that we have our sauce ready to go, I'm going to add in our fresh basil. I also love this dish with fresh dill, but the last salmon recipe I added a bunch of dill, so I wanted to try something a little different today. You can add in some fresh cherry tomatoes to this. It's also really delicious. You really can't go wrong, especially when you're cooking with fresh herb. While that is sitting, we are going to start our pasta. I decided to go with a rigatoni. I like how the pasta sauce gets into the middle of these, and it's always super yummy. Once that's done, in a bowl, you can go ahead and mix your pasta sauce and the pasta, or you can add the pasta directly to the pan. I'm going to add the salmon afterwards because if I add it to the pan, which is really hot, it's going to start to cook the salmon, and we don't want that. We want the salmon to remain at room temperature, and we're going to be adding some fresh herbs to this as well. To have the pasta all really well mixed, you want to cover it completely. We're going to add it to a plate. I like to season this with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. I also like to add some fresh chives. I feel like I add chives to everything, but it's just so yummy. You could also use a cotija cheese for this too. Either way, you really can't go wrong with the cheese part. Then I'm going to tuck in some fresh basil, and voila, you have dinner on the table. I hope you guys enjoyed today's recipe. If you'd like to download it, it is down in the description box down below. Bye!